What's up, math fans? This video is a continuation of my last video, which was plotting linear equations, and I wrote using the slope-intercept form. So you should know that slope-intercept form is kind of like standard form, where you're given a slope and you're given an intercept. So if you look at this equation, it looks a little crazy, and it's not in the form that I'm used to. I kind of ran you through making a table and plugging in values and stuff like that, which is not completely necessary. The only reason I did it is for you to get an idea that there's multiple solutions to equations like this. And in order to represent those multiple solutions on a graph, we plot every single solution, which is a point. Each time you get a solution is really just a point on a graph. So if there's multiple solutions, there's multiple points, and they should form a line. Thus, they're called linear equations. But my linear equation, I want my linear equation to look like this. Y equals something x plus something. And I talked about that last time. This something, the number in front of x, the coefficient of x, is a very important number. It is the slope. And this number without an x is a constant, and that is also known as the y-intercept. I might have used the phrase starting point or something like that. And you can hear, you probably have heard the slope, this number in front of the x, and it's called the rate or constant rate of change or something like that. And it is. If it's a word problem, it makes more sense to call it a rate. But if it's just a straight graph, I'm going to use the word slope. Slope, and I said this also, is defined as rise over run. So it should be a fraction. The slope is how the line behaves. If the line is going up, and you read from left to right, you graph from left to right. So if your line is going up, that's a positive slope. If your line is going down from left to right, that's a negative slope. And you might come across lines that are just like this, not up or down. This is a zero slope, and this one, the line is vertical. That's interesting. That's not going up or down either. This has, well, no slope. Okay? See, you think about it as skiing. If you're skiing uphill, positive slope. Skiing downhill, negative slope. If you're skiing on a flat surface, you're still, pushing along. That's zero slope. And here, you're not skiing. You die. No slope. But I'm not going to get into the no slope today. I'm not going to get into the zero slope. I just want to go straight for, it's not in standard form. I want to put it in standard form. You need to have skills of manipulating equations based on my other video of it kind of looks like this, like a big mess called literal equations. So you want to solve for y. You want to get y alone. You want to isolate y. All right? Use your skills. Y is not alone. So let me get this 2x to the other side. I add 2x to both sides. They cancel out. And 8 plus 2x is not 10x. Please don't say 10x. 8 plus 2x is just what you see. Write what you see. 8 plus 10x. If you were able to see it backwards, you could see it as 2x. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not just your regular 8, that's a negative 8. So negative 8 plus 2x, don't tell me that's 6x either, or negative 6x. It's not, you cannot combine them. Write what you see. You can write negative 8 plus 2x and jot down the 4y equals. I'm going to use the switch it property, the commutative property, because I'd like my x term to go first, just like mx plus b. So I'm going to write 4y equals 2x. Notice the 2x is positive, it's still positive, and the minus 8 or the negative 8 goes right here. Y is still not alone. I want to isolate y. Y has to be alone, meaning no coefficient. So now I divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, and y is finally alone. And do you know what 2 divided by 4 is? It's not 2, it's 1/2. 1/2 x. 2 over 4 simplifies to 1/2. You could say it's 0.5. I don't want it as a decimal, and you'll see why. Minus 8 over 4 is 2. So now I have y equals mx plus b, just like I wanted here. Okay? Now that I got what I want, like a spoiled baby, now I can either type this into the graphing calculator and see the graph, or I can start to make that table that I did last time and start to plot the points, or I can finally use the shortcut, and the point of this video is the shortcut. So just tell me what you know. I know that the slope is the coefficient of x. It's 1/2. And I know that the y-intercept is this number negative 2. This tells me to start at negative 2. I'm sorry, to start at 0, negative 2. Because if this is called a y-intercept, it's on the y-axis. 0, negative 2 is right here on the y-axis. That's going to be my starting point. And then I'm going to do what the slope tells me to do. Remember what I said? The slope is rise over run. So I rise 1, that's my top number, and then I run across 2. So follow me very carefully, and I'll even do it in red. I start from here. From here, I rise. Just like Maya Angelou, I rise up 1. I'm here now. Don't put a dot yet, because you still gotta run. After you rise, then you gotta run. I did that last time. 2 steps. So I go up 1 and over 2, and now I am right here. This point is 2 comma negative 1. Just for fun, do it again. Rise 1 from here. So now I'm up here at 0, and then I run over 2. This point should be 4 comma 0. And you can keep doing it. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. You can keep doing it. You will get a pattern of points. Then you will get a straight edge. Okay, so it's not too sloppy. And draw a long line like that, showing that you understand that there's infinite amount of points. You could have gone on forever, but we didn't have that much time. This is the graph of this. Wasn't in standard form, put it in standard form, and graph it. I labeled my x-axis, my y-axis, my origin. I'm even going to graph the line, and it's your choice. You can label it either with this equation or this equation. I'm going to use the original equation, and I'm done. Any questions? Can't hear you. Probably have to type them. Let's go here. Let's get a little more complicated. Is y alone here? Not even close. So what am I going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase. Get this out of my way so you don't get too distracted. Now, what did you say was the first step in isolating y here? I want y alone. I got this 10x in the way. So let me do the opposite of positive 10x. See, it used to be is a positive. Not because of this plus sign, because there's no sign here, so it's positive. Minus 10x, minus 10x. Again, those cancel, and these are not like terms. Do not say 5x. This is actually 5y is equal to 15 minus 10x. If they're not like terms, don't try to combine them. Don't get an answer. Write what you see. So now I got y alone, right? No, not quite. Let me divide by the coefficient, divide by 5 in every single term, and y equals 15 divided by 5 is 3, minus 10 divided by 5 is 2x. Good? Let me just, again, use that switch it property. I want my x term first. This time it's a negative 2x, and that 3 is positive. So now, it wasn't in standard form. I put it in standard form. Just tell me what you know. What do you know? I know that the slope, well, let me see. If this is y equals mx plus b, I know the slope is negative 2. And I know that the b, the y-intercept, is 3. So I start, where do you start? Start at 0, comma 3. That's 0, 3. That's on the y-axis. It's the y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, right? Here is my starting point. I hope you can see that dot. Here's something you should be doing when you're watching these videos on graphing. If you're in the graphing chapter, you should have graphing paper already. If you don't, go get some. Go to Staples, go to the store. I suggest you buy a book, and it's worth it because you can take notes here too. A graph paper notebook. And they got that in Staples or any other store that sells notebooks. Or just a pack of graph paper, and you can sell sheets to your friends for 10 cents each. All right. What does this mean? The slope is negative 2. Oh, but Professor Noah, you said that the slope is rise over run. That's only one number. Any number can be put, any whole number can be put over 1. So it's rise over run. I rise 2 and I run 1. Wait a minute, negative? We didn't discuss this. Negative? Huh. How could you rise negative 2? Oh, rising negative 2 is actually falling. It's actually going down. So you would go down 2 and over 1. down 2 over 1, okay? And so I'm starting at 0, 3, I'm right here, and now watch carefully. I'm gonna go down 2, 1, 2, and over 1. So now I'm actually at 1, 1, all right? Just for fun, do it 2 or 3 more times so you get a nice pattern. So from here, I go down 2, over 1, and now I'm over there. And on graph paper, it looks really good. Do it a couple more times, get your straight edge, and you're done, okay? Any questions? In summary, I'm going to label this thing y equals negative 2x plus 3. So this time I didn't use the original equation, I used the standard form of the equation. So in summary, you want to put it in standard form. You want to tell me what the slope is, tell me what the y-intercept is, and then build your points. 3 points is enough to make a line. 2 points is enough to make a line. 3 points is to make sure you're correct. Okay? Notice this line is going which way? Down. Why? Slope was negative. Last line was going up because the slope was positive. Thanks for watching. See ya.